Warm greetings to you all, psych enthusiasts, students, and curious minds alike. Welcome to another insightful episode on the Psych Curious channel. Today, we turn our attention to borderline personality disorder, a topic as intriguing as it is important. We'll be peeling back the layers of this disorder, giving you a brief overview without delving into the details of the DSM criteria just yet. Stay tuned as we delve deeper into the fascinating world of psychology, exploring the intricacies of borderline personality disorder. Now let's delve into the first criterion of BPD according to the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders: fear of abandonment. This fear, as intense as it is pervasive, often forms the bedrock of the emotional landscape for individuals grappling with borderline personality disorder. It's not just the fear of physical abandonment, like being left alone, but also emotional abandonment, the fear of being emotionally disconnected or not cared for. It's a fear that's always lurking, even in seemingly stable situations. Think of it as a shadow, following the individual wherever they go, coloring their every interaction. It's a fear that doesn't need a real trigger. A casual comment, a change in tone, or even an unreturned phone call can set off alarm bells in the mind of someone with BPD. This fear often manifests in their relationships and behaviors. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. They're so afraid of being left behind, they might start to act out in ways that make it more likely to happen. They might cling too tightly, becoming overly dependent on their partners, friends, or family members. They might demand constant reassurance, which can be emotionally draining for the people around them. On the flip side, they might push people away out of fear. They might start a fight, or become distant, or even end the relationship themselves. It's a protective mechanism, a way of saying, "You can't leave me because I'm leaving you first." This fear can also lead to impulsive behaviors like substance abuse, reckless driving, or self-harm. These actions are often misguided attempts to manage or escape from the overwhelming fear of abandonment. To sum it up, it's as if the person with BPD is constantly walking on a tightrope, trying to balance their fear of being alone with their fear of being too close, and often they end up falling off. Understanding this fear of abandonment serves as the foundation for recognizing and treating BPD. It's a crucial step for future therapists, as it helps them empathize with their patients and design effective treatment strategies tailored to their unique experiences. Moving on, we explore the second DSM criterion: unstable relationships. At the heart of borderline personality disorder, or BPD, lies a pattern of volatile and intense interpersonal relationships. This can be likened to a seesaw, swinging between two extremes: idealization, where the person with BPD sees others as perfect or wonderful, and devaluation, where they perceive the same individuals as terrible or worthless. This roller coaster of emotions is not a deliberate choice. It's a manifestation of the struggle that individuals with BPD face in regulating their emotions and maintaining a stable sense of self and others. Often, they might start a new relationship with intense love and passion, painting their partner or friend in an overwhelmingly positive light. This is the phase of idealization. But as the relationship progresses, even a minor disagreement or misunderstanding can trigger a shift to the opposite extreme of devaluation. The once perfect partner or friend is now seen as entirely flawed or even malicious. This emotional pendulum can be exhausting, not only for the person with BPD, but also for their loved ones. They may feel like they are walking on eggshells, unsure of what might trigger the next emotional flip. It can lead to a cycle of short-lived relationships, job changes, and even relocation, as the individual with BPD seeks to escape the feelings of disappointment and betrayal they perceive. However, it's essential to remember that these are not manipulative or attention-seeking behaviors. They are symptoms of a severe and misunderstood mental health condition. Individuals with BPD don't choose to experience these intense swings of emotion. They are as much a victim of their disorder as the people around them. Understanding this pattern of instability is not about blaming or judging. It's about building empathy and compassion for individuals with BPD. It's about helping them navigate their world with more understanding and less judgment. It's about supporting them in their journey towards recovery and stability. It's crucial to comprehend this pattern of instability to better support individuals with BPD. And remember, every step taken towards understanding is a step closer to healing. Next on the list of DSM criteria is identity disturbance. Let's take a moment to delve into this concept. Identity disturbance in the context of borderline personality disorder, or BPD, is a profound and persistently unstable image or sense of self. It's not about having a bad day or questioning your life choices after a rough week. It's a constant, ongoing struggle with understanding who you are, what you stand for, and where you fit into the world. People with BPD often grapple with their self-image. They may see themselves as fundamentally flawed or unworthy. At times, they might feel like they're good and competent, but these feelings can quickly shift to believing they're bad or inadequate. This is not a fleeting change of heart. It's an intense, erratic fluctuation in self-perception, making self-understanding a battlefield. Now let's talk about self-identity. For many of us, our identity is a stable anchor, a solid foundation that helps us navigate life. However, for those with BPD, their identity might feel more like a ship adrift at sea, subject to the whims of the wind and waves. They may have difficulty committing to jobs, relationships, or long-term goals because they're unsure of who they are or who they want to be. This can lead to a chameleon-like behavior, where they change their goals, values, aspirations, and even their appearance based on who they're with or what situation they're in. This constant turmoil can lead to feelings of emptiness, a profound sense of hollowness or void. It's like looking into a mirror and seeing no reflection. This emptiness can be deeply distressing, leading to desperate attempts to fill the void, often in unhealthy ways. In understanding BPD, it's essential to recognize these identity disturbances. They are not attention-seeking behaviors or signs of indecisiveness. They are deep-seated struggles, often hidden beneath the surface, impacting every aspect of a person's life. Recognizing these identity disturbances can be key in understanding and treating BPD. Last but not least, let's discuss the DSM criterion of impulsive and risky behavior. This is an area where individuals with borderline personality disorder, or BPD, often tread a hazardous path. They are frequently drawn into actions that are impulsive, risky, and potentially damaging to themselves. What's crucial to understand here is that these behaviors aren't just about thrill-seeking or a lack of self-control. More often than not, they are a response to periods of intense emotional pain or fear. It's like a pressure cooker. The emotional turmoil builds up inside until it reaches a boiling point, and then it has to escape somehow. For someone with BPD, that escape often comes in the form of impulsive and risky behavior. Let's delve a little deeper into what this might look like. One person might engage in reckless driving, exceeding speed limits, running red lights, or taking unnecessary risks on the road. Another might turn to substance abuse, using alcohol or drugs as a way to numb their emotional pain, or to feel something other than the overwhelming fear or sadness that's consuming them. Unsafe sex is another common form of impulsive behavior, seen in those with BPD. It's not about the physical act as much as it is about seeking emotional connection, validation, or simply a momentary escape from the emotional turmoil. It's important to remember that these behaviors are not a choice for those with BPD. They are a desperate attempt to handle overwhelming emotions. It's like trying to put out a forest fire with a garden hose. It's an impossible task, but they're doing the best they can with the tools they have. As mental health professionals, it's our job to provide them with better tools. We need to help them learn healthier ways to manage their emotions, ways that don't involve putting their lives at risk. Understanding these behaviors is crucial in identifying and helping those with BPD. As we come to the end of our discussion on borderline personality disorder, let's summarize the key points. We began by exploring the fear of abandonment, a trait often characterized by an intense and irrational dread of being left alone, leading to desperate attempts to avoid real or imagined separation. This fear can be incredibly debilitating, affecting every facet of an individual's life. Then, we moved on to unstable relationships. These are marked by a pattern of intense and stormy relationships with family, friends, and loved ones, often vacillating between extreme closeness and love to intense dislike or anger. We also delved into identity disturbance, where individuals with BPD may experience significant and persistent unstable self-image or sense of self. This can result in sudden changes in feelings, opinions, values, or plans and goals for the future. Finally, we examined impulsive and risky behavior, which is often demonstrated through harmful, sensation-seeking behaviors, especially when individuals with BPD are upset or during periods of emotional distress. Each of these criteria contributes to the overall diagnosis of borderline personality disorder, painting a picture of an individual caught in a cycle of emotional instability, disturbed sense of self, and tumultuous relationships. Thank you for joining us on this journey into understanding borderline personality disorder. Remember, knowledge is the first step towards empathy and support. Until next time, stay curious and keep learning.